Hi everybody, my name's Rob Scott from UC Today, and in this session I'm joined by Anne-Marie Ginn, Head of Video Collaboration for Logitech, and Tom Arbuthnot, Microsoft MVP and UC Solutions Architect for Modality Systems. And in this session we'll be focusing in on personal collaboration tools for Microsoft Teams. So welcome everybody.
Hey Rob.
Good to see you both. Yeah, good morning. Really good to see you. Excited about this session. So just wanted to say, set the scene for the audience first of all. So, if you're working with Microsoft Teams, either at home or in the office, having the right equipment to complement your workplace and work style is absolutely essential. So stay tuned to find out how Logitech can help you maximize your productivity when communicating and collaborating using video at work. So Anne-Marie, a really good place to start. And as our special guest, I think it's right that you should maybe give us a little bit of an introduction. Tell us about yourself and the video collaboration division at Logitech.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for the opportunity today. So we actually have a lot going on right now, in the Microsoft Teams space. And look how relevant all of this has become for us, in our new world of remote working all the time. So yeah, just to introduce myself, I look after Logitech's video collaboration category for EMEA. So I've been very fortunate in that, I've been part of some of the fantastic launches over the last number of years. Many people are familiar with Logitech now in the meeting space, products like Tap, Meetup for the huddle room, Rally for the larger meeting rooms, and that kind of integrated meeting room ecosystem. So more recently, we've refocused on the personal collaboration space a year ago, announcing the Zone headset portfolio for the modern office. So overall, I think lots of exciting developments for us in the collaboration space, and video collaboration within Logitech goes from strength to strength. It's a fast growing part of the business, ever increasing, and increasingly important to the business as well.
Yeah, I'll say the Logitech stuff's really interesting because it's such a big brand, and seeing Logitech come into the enterprise meeting space was interesting, and now coming even more into the headset space, it's becoming more and more relevant. Was there kind of because Logitech have had headsets outside of enterprise before, was there something particular that kind of brought that into the fore for the enterprise team?
Well, yeah, so I think, well in advance of the current situation that we all find ourselves in, I think what was becoming obvious, from just the experience of using platforms like Microsoft Teams, and they've become so ubiquitous. And of course, getting the meeting room right and delivering a good experience there is really important. But even just as, an observer of meetings, you'll see that even, in a normal day-to-day situation, that so many attendees of virtual meetings are actually not in the meeting room. They're either, calling in from their desk or from, a home office, or even remote situations. And, in many cases, I think what we've seen anecdotally is that, a majority of participants in a virtual meeting may not be in the meeting room. What you find, as let's say a user of personal collaboration devices outside of a controlled environment is, that it can be a bit of a patchwork of mixed devices, right? Both headsets and video. And I think traditionally in the industry, we've thought about those as two separate types of products, right? They're individual peripherals. And, to date, nobody had really thought about that experience as part of virtual meetings. So in a modern environment, where we're using applications like Microsoft Teams, and also, thinking about integrating that experience so that it's not two separate things, that it's all part of the same, and it's about the idea of, video and audio together.
Good stuff. So let's focus in on the personal collaboration tools then for teams. Anne-Marie, I know we agreed to kind of almost separate this discussion between headsets and webcams. So let's start with headsets. What's the latest and greatest from Logitech when it comes to headsets?
Yeah, perfect. So just over a year ago, we actually announced the Zone wireless headset. So that was the first in a portfolio of this Zone platform for designed for the modern office and designed for knowledge workers, to really help people communicate, concentrate, and collaborate seamlessly, right? So the idea is, one headset that takes you through your entire workday, right? That includes things like switching from mobile to PC to virtual meetings, and perhaps things like, listening to music when you're in concentration mode, right? Because the way that we work, it's not one way of working throughout the entire workday. There's going to be different phases of when you need to communicate, collaborate, and concentrate. And so I have here actually a sample of the Zone wireless headset. So this was the first in that new portfolio of Zone headsets. So, great design. I think it actually just recently got a Red Dot Design Award. So that's, pretty nice. It's a design for comfort, for all day wearing, nice touches like foldable design, right? As an industry first, it's the first headset that supports key wireless charging. Right.
Yeah, that's really neat. I mean, we're used to that in the mobile space of just slamming those devices down and having them charge. I really like having the wireless charging in the headset. It's neat.
Absolutely. And things like design touches like flip to mute. I think that's something that was greatly appreciated as well. Comes with either Bluetooth or a USB dongle. And then the next step in the Zone wireless headset portfolio was to make a Zone Wireless Plus. I don't know if you'd heard about that version of the product. So again, another industry first. So Zone Wireless Plus comes with a unifying dongle where you can connect basically your audio experience with the Logitech desktop experience, wireless keyboards and mouse. So effectively you can have up to 6 devices running off one unifying USB dongle. Right,
so that's neat. Rather than a dongle for your keyboard, a dongle for your mouse. When you've got those laptops that only have 2 USBs anyway.
Exactly. So a single dongle to run all of that. So that's the wireless piece of the portfolio. And then a couple of months ago, I think it was actually for around the time of ISE, we announced the Zone wired headset. And people ask sometimes, why did you go wireless first? Well, in fact, we were missing a Bluetooth offering in the professional headset range. So went with that first, but followed soon afterwards with the Zone wired headset. So you can see, similar design, nice braided cable. This is the first headset certified for Microsoft Teams in our portfolio. So we're running it in 2 versions. One is the dedicated Teams, which has, dedicated Microsoft Teams controller in it, right? Single touch to access your Teams experience. And as the follow-on, the Zone wireless headset that I just showed you, that has now been upgraded as well to have Teams certification.
Yeah, I see them both on the list, so that's really good. And we see lots. Sorry, go on, Rob.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I say we see a lot of IT companies like wired because it's a known quantity. So users like wireless because they can run around. But actually, if you want one less thing to support, solid wired in takes away some variables. So we do, and you hit a more aggressive price point with wired as well. So those there's definitely demand for those.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would also see wired being, you know, the volume of products, but
Yep.
we had a significant demand for wireless headsets, in particular Bluetooth. So, you know, that was kind of first to market. But I think, you know, we're very happy now that there's a complete portfolio there, and even happier, to be honest, that they now both have achieved the Microsoft Teams certification.
Good. I'm curious, Anne-Marie, do businesses buy these for the users, or are you seeing more of a trend towards users buying them and kind of bring your own device being more popular nowadays?
Yeah, so I think that's a very interesting question, especially given the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, our normal go-to-market motion will be through IT channels to IT buyers, right? And it's about standardizing on a particular type of headset for your business. However, you know, given or since the coronavirus outbreak, I mean, we have seen, I think, like everybody else in this space, we have seen demand explode for personal devices and actually, Rob, it's both types of purchasing. You know, we've seen companies you know, having to react very, very quickly to the situation to equip their employees to work from home. And we've also seen, you know, organizations like, for example, the NHS in the UK that really had to react super, super quickly to get all of their frontline employees and back office staff equipped to deal with the situation. So I think right now we're seeing both types of demand. We're seeing both, you know, the IT driven demand, and we're also seeing, you know, individual user demand. I mean, that's reflected through our e-commerce platform as well. You know, Logitech web sales, you know, on every level, it has exploded.
It's interesting, isn't it? And that's likely, you know, to potentially change in the future as more and more people go home to work. You know, the organisation has to decide, or will, you know, there'll be some regulations around it potentially, even in terms of who provides this equipment
Yeah.
going forward.
Yeah, and I think, you know, short term, it's been a bit of a scramble, you know, for every organization, basically just figuring out and you know, finding the best way to get their employees equipped. I think we're all hearing as well, you know, as things return to normal, it's a new normal, right? And we hear, you know, various data points from analysts that Logitech have worked with. So, for example, Frost and Sullivan, they've just put together a report with Logitech, and similar to other analysts, they're saying, you know, going forward, between 25 to 30% of the employee population is going to work, you know, remotely / from home on a permanent basis. So, you know, I think
And
it's
good gear there is so key, because we've heard about the, you know, Zoom fatigue type thing, the video conferencing fatigue.
Yeah.
A big part of that is audio quality, and people don't
Yeah.
immediately get it. But if you're listening to people with bad audio quality, you have to really lean in, and you're actively trying to hear what they're saying. And if they've got good audio quality, it's more like a natural conversation. So we've had lots of conversations with our big organizations about the personal impact on people from working from home, and it centers around proper kit, proper environment, good healthy practices and all that kind of stuff, but audio and video quality is really key.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, audio quality is, you know, it's something that I think you take for granted when it's working well, you know, like it is now. When it's not working well, we actually had in my family, we did a couple of Zoom birthday parties, right, with people joining from every type of device, you know, mobile, headsets, no headsets, and it was utter chaos. Right?
Yep.
Fun, but utter chaos. And you know, I think it's when you see the contrast, that's when you really appreciate a good audio experience like we have now. And the other part of that, I think, is the video aspect. So, you know, audio is great, and it's kind of, it's the, the minimum expectation that we have good audio. But I think, again, particularly when everybody is working from home, the visual connection has become so much more important, to have that face-to-face contact with your co-workers and make people feel connected in to the work community, even if they are working remotely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Let's talk video then, because webcams are an essential ingredient, aren't they, in today's world? So, would you like to introduce your, latest and greatest webcams?
Yeah, so I think in terms of webcams, there aren't any immediate announcements, but what we have been doing is that again, coming from this philosophy of, video and audio together and delivering integrated experiences, what we have done is we have started to bring together kits or bundles of the Zone headset portfolio with some of our best-selling, well-known webcams. So, for example, there's a high-end bundle with the Zone wireless headset and BRIO. Are you familiar with BRIO?
Yeah, I'm on a BRIO right now. BRIO's one of my go-tos for a high-end webcam, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, that's why you're looking so good, Tom, on video.
I'll take it.
Well, I'm on the one down, and I'm trying to buy a BRIO, and I can't buy one because they're all out of stock everywhere. So I'm trying to upgrade, and I can't. So
demand is particularly high right now. But just getting back to BRIO, so that was I think an industry first as well, with the 4K, the first 4K video webcam with HDR. Multiple field of view or adjustable field of view settings, and I think something that's really important in the context of our Microsoft discussion is the facial recognition with Windows Hello. I think that also raises interesting prospects, when people are kind of back in a regular work situation and they want to have no touch environments.
Minimal touch.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of raised the interest level in BRIO as well.
I think seeing people invest a bit of money in webcams is good as well. Like lots of laptops have built-in webcams, and again, we spend a lot of time educating users on they're not the same. Like there's quite a big variance, and like the 930e, the 925, those hit an amazing price point and give already leaps and bounds beyond a laptop, but the BRIO just takes it up a level.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think even again, whether you're working in an office or in a home setting, working with a small laptop screen it's really tough to keep going for 8 hours a day with the small screen. So I think in reality, the majority of people will have the laptop docked or the screen closed in some way with a bigger monitor, and then that built-in webcam is going to be of zero benefit.
Good point.
Yeah, so I think again, we're seeing it reflected in the current demand, where companies are recognizing the need for a webcam, in some cases any kind of webcam, but the better I think the better quality you have, the better the experience is, and that also makes it easier for people who are maybe less comfortable with video to embrace it and feel that it's a more natural experience. So the BRIO is one that we're focusing on as part of the personal collaboration story. The other one is C925E. So as you were saying, Tom, it's a great option at a very good price point for business. You have your full HD video with autofocus, right? You have a very good frame of field of view, 78 degrees. What I personally like about the C95E a lot is the fact that it has actually a very I don't have a sample here right now, but it has a very professional, sleek looking design with a built-in slider, right?
I'm sure our editing team will be flashing videos that are images up as we're talking, so somebody will be able to
Great,
see it.
yeah. Okay, yeah. And I personally, I just love that neat feature. You have a little slider, you can shut off the video. Many people are concerned about that, about privacy aspects, and it's there, it's in the product.
Yeah.
So.
Also, sleekness in the home is an interesting one as well. Like my wife, is dismayed at the amount of technology I have in my office. She wants it neat and simple and tidy, and it's just a nice little black bar that does the job, kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, if my wife had her way, I'd need a weatherproof one because I'd be outside in the garden somewhere.
Maybe that's the next innovation.
the garden shed version.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe with a little umbrella on top.
Absolutely. I will just mention, actually, on a more serious note, that I use the C9 20 or 25, I think it is, and I'm looking to upgrade to the BRIO, but even the 920 or 925, whichever one I have, is superb for the price point. It truly is a great camera, and I use it day in, day out, and seldom get any complaints at all with it. So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. From Logitech's point of view, we would always recommend having a full HD webcam as a minimum standard, right? And from there, I think you have a variety of options in terms of the design, the look and feel, or additional features. So there's probably a good range of products that will cover that basic need for high quality video. And then if you want to go to a slightly more professional level, it would be BRIO. And so we're talking about the personal collaboration kits, bringing both BRIO and C925E together with the zone wired headsets. So to have more than just a one-stop shop. I mean, buying devices together is great, but actually what we are moving to is to have more integrated experiences. So for example, as part of Microsoft Teams, but also one of the innovations around the Zone headset portfolio is that we deliver that with a little companion app called Tune, right? So you can download it on your desktop or mobile. So mobile is probably going to be more applicable. But with that, you can control your environment, right? So everything to do with audio, like volume, mute, EQ controls, side tone, all of those things. And in the next upcoming iteration of Tune, we're actually going to see video/webcam controls built into that as well.
That's neat. So that's one of the things that
so
users
really
get,
bringing it together.
because at the moment it's two different bits of software to tune those things together. So having users be able to go to one place would definitely be easier.
Yeah. So that's our vision, to have the integrated experience, especially, as we've all seen video usage explode over the last couple of months. I think there's all of the stats from Microsoft, in the increase in video usage, Zoom, which took over the planet, of course, so I think it's been a a dramatic reset, but one that's probably here to stay.
Yeah, I feel anecdotally when I have a lot of customer meetings, like I'm always the person that was videoing all the time and peer pressures people because I think it's so important. But it feels like more and more people are joining on video now, and people have got more relaxed. The background images on both platforms have helped. Just more relaxed about my video is not going to be perfect. It is what it is, but it's better to have that engagement and a few things in the background than not have that engagement.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think in general, what we've seen as well is that the maybe the formality that was associated with video calls has kind of eased a little bit as well when everybody is working from home, and it's that sense of, we're all in this together, and it's not always perfect, right? And sometimes the kids run in, or there's a pile of laundry in the background, or yesterday my cat jumped on the desk and joined me on a video call. So
yeah, 100%. I think people are much more accepting, and it's a much better culture. Hopefully it stays like that. That's the thing. I think it's been a horrible world events, but hopefully there's some positives around cultural change there.
Definitely.
Great stuff. So we've talked headsets, we've talked webcams. So just final discussion point for today would be, Anne-Marie, really just to talk around Logitech's overall strategy for the video collaboration division, because you work with all the vendors. You're agnostic. That's one of your biggest unique selling points, I'm sure. But it'd be great just to hear from your perspective, how you work, how you go to market, and how you work with the brands to ensure your devices work successfully.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, to your point, Rob, partnership is a huge part of Logitech's strategy and success in the space. So kind of building out that complete ecosystem. A couple of years back, Logitech launched a collaboration program, to kind of work with partners in the application space, but also in related categories like the compute that's needed in the meeting room, or even AV accessories, right? So it's been really successful in terms of applications. Our three biggest partners are, of course, Microsoft with Teams application, but also Google and Zoom. And with those three partnerships, I think we cover most of the applications and the requirements. There are other specializations as well. So for example, Unify is very popular in Germany, and we partner with Unify. There are other applications in Asia that we don't see in EMEA, so we cover those too. So that is a huge part of the strategy.
Great stuff. Tom, any questions around that? I mean, actually, I've got a question for you, Tom, around Logitech in the enterprise. I mean, are we starting to see greater adoption now of almost agnostic equipment in the enterprise?
Yeah, there's definitely there's conflicting motivations. So enterprises like standards, because one vendor relationship, one vendor, but users like choice, and there's use cases. So I think we're seeing a mix. Certainly in the personal endpoints, there's usually at least a couple of vendors in play, but enterprises generally try and standardize down, so they have one desktop app to support, one thing their first line support team need to be able to talk through functionality, firmware updates, that kind of thing. So overall, the motivation in enterprise is to pull it into a few unique vendors and not have loads and loads.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense. Hey, Anne-Marie, it's been great listening to you today and talking about Logitech and all the latest products and solutions you've got there. Tom, it's been fantastic having you on again today, talking Microsoft Teams for us. I'd just like to thank everyone for watching. And if you've enjoyed today's session, please do give us a quick like or a share on social media. But for now, thanks for watching.